Today, the city of New Orleans is preparing for yet another storm, and the Sewer and Water Board says they're more than prepared as all 99 water pumps are available and fully operational. Hurricane Delta has a strong possibility of making landfall in southeast Louisiana this week. Officials say they've learned from previous storms, and they don't expect the water system to be overwhelmed as it has been in the past. This week, catch basins and streets will also be cleaned ahead of the storm. Storm Team 4's Liz McGiffin has been tracking Delta and has a look at the latest path. Liz?
Well, Audrey, it has already been a crazy season. In fact, the 2020 hurricane season, it just keeps breaking records with how quickly we've been able to actually name these storms. It has been since 2005 that we've actually had to dig back into the Greek alphabet in order to find the names for some of these storms. And there are several areas that are bracing, like you mentioned, for being in the path of Delta. Like you mentioned, there are spots like New Orleans that for the 6th time this year, they find themselves in the cone for potential landfall. I want you to take a look at this. Alabama residents, they are also nervous about the impending arrival of Hurricane Delta. In fact, insurance and roofing companies over in Baldwin and Mobile counties, they are still overwhelmed by some of the storm damage left over from Hurricane Sally last month. Crews, they've secured tarps over hundreds of homes while awaiting for insurance companies to start paying those claims. Right now, in fact, roofing companies say that there is no way to brace these roofless homes for yet another hurricane. I want to show you just the size of this large, now Category 4 hurricane. This is Hurricane Delta, which, like I mentioned, it's been since 2005 that we've had to dig into the Greek alphabet to start naming those tropical storms and hurricanes. What you're seeing just off to the west over toward the Cancun area, that's actually the remnants of what was Gamma. So the Cancun area is certainly going to be one place that is also bracing for some major impacts. The latest track for what we have left for Category 4, so this strong major hurricane, looks like Tuesday night into early Wednesday. So tonight into first thing tomorrow morning, we could be seeing landfall for parts of Cancun with 140-mile-per-hour winds. And that's only going to briefly slow down this system. In fact, it's expected to make landfall inland on the United States as a Category 1 or 2 hurricane. We could be talking about 100-mile-per-hour winds on top of some dangerous rainfall amounts, and then the system starting to book its way up toward the Tennessee Valley in time for the weekend. Now, as far as breaking records, well, this is not only the first time since 2005 that we've had to dig into the Greek alphabet, it's the earliest that we've seen the 25th named storm, the 10th time this season, so another record that we've seen that many landfalls. This is also going to be the 9th hurricane to make landfall this year. And yet another thing to add to the record book, Delta is on track to being the first time that we've had to dig into the Greek alphabet to see a storm make landfall. So we're continuing to watch this system, even as we head toward the weekend, for impacts for what we can see right here in Ohio.
All right.